Ravenous Hydra has taken over preseason and is a super OP item on many champions. Jock Show is one of the most undervalued items right now, and is even good on certain bruiser champs. The preseason patch has brought forth a crazy amount of new builds, so we're going to be breaking down 15 of the most OP in today's video. We won't be featuring any of the builds we already mentioned in our builds video last week, so if you haven't seen that one yet, check it out after this video for 10 more insanely strong builds. But before we get into it, be sure to check out SkillCapped if you want to truly get better at League of Legends. We're the only service that offers a money-back guarantee if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service. We do this because our service really does work, and if it doesn't work for you, you shouldn't pay. Learn more at the end of this video or click the link in the description below. Despite Jock Show being an item designed for tank champions, it's actually seeing great results on a fighter champion like Aurelia. Pro player Revenge has been playing this one in solo queue. This is definitely one of the most unique and underrated core builds of preseason, as it consists of a Blade Rush into Jock Show 2nd and Ravenous Hydra 3rd. Aurelia is a champion who loves extended skirmishes. The ramping power from Aurelia's passive allows her to outlast many champions the longer fights drag out. This is why Jock Show can work so well on her. The passive on Jock Show provides you with bonus armor and magic resist the longer you're in combat. Aurelia becomes this high DPS tank bruiser mix with this 2-item core, which can be very difficult for the enemy team to deal with. Stat-wise, Jock Show is winning about 2% more than Immortal Shield Bow, so the analytics back it up as well. The rune page you'll run is Conqueror with Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand, grab Bone Plating, and Unflinching for secondaries. It's really no secret how much stronger Fiora and Camille have become with the buffed Ravenous Hydra, but one champion not getting enough attention with the item is Tryndamere. Tryndamere players that rush Ravenous Hydra are winning about 7% more than Kraken users, which is a spread we very rarely see. A few percent difference in item performance is normal, but 7% is just completely insane. This just goes to show how broken Ravenous is right now, and it works perfectly for someone like Trynd. Trynd to E combined with Ravenous allows you to demolish waves and relentlessly pressure the side lane. Give Trynd an inch and he'll take a mile, which is why Ravenous's new passive can work so well. When Trynd is ahead, he can start diving the enemy under tower whenever his ultimate is available, and easily stack up the bonus AD and Omnivamp from the Carnivorous passive. So the core build to run on Trynd is a Ravenous Hydra Rush into Kraken Slayer 2nd and Navori Quickblades 3rd. Keystone is Lethal Tempo, followed by Triumph, Tenacity, and Last Stand. Roll with Second Wind and Unflinching for secondaries. Everyone is so focused on Heartsteel right now that they are heavily underrating the power of Jock Show. Not only is Aurelia great with the item, but it works insanely well with Urgot too. For Urgot, it's the combination of Ravenous and Jock Show that provide a massive 2-item spike. With Ravenous, you reach up to 85 AD with the passive fully stacked, which is 10 more AD than Titanic Hydra and Black Cleaver combined. Ravenous provides you with plenty of offensive power, so you can go into Jock Show's 2nd item to become this DPS raid boss. A pretty underrated part of this core is all the healing potential it has. You get the Omnivamp from Ravenous and the 3% max health healing from Jock Show, so combined with the ramping armor and magic resist, you're super strong in extended fights. Urgot is a champion who can deal a ton of consistent damage, so this core build synergizes very well with this kit. Rune page with this setup consists of Press the Attack, followed by Triumph, Tenacity, and Last Stand. Pick up Bone Plating and Overgrowth for secondaries. Although the majority of new players are rushing Jock Show, it's actually Heartsteel that has a lot more potential on him. It's not just Heartsteel alone, but how insanely well this 3-item core of Heartsteel, Sunfire Aegis, and Demonic Embrace synergize with each other. The Demonic Embrace passive converts 2% of your bonus health into ability power. Heartsteel offers 800 health, Sunfire 400, and Demonic 350 for a grand total of 1550 bonus health. If we do a quick calculation, this means you'll be receiving an extra 31 AP from the Demonic Embrace passive on this 3-item spike. So basically, by building super tanky, it allows you to deal more damage, which is actually kinda crazy to think about. A big reason why this build can work so well with Nunu is that his Q and ultimate both scale off his bonus health. Nunu's also got a 300% AP ratio on his ultimate, so the AP from Demonic Embrace does not go to waste. For runes, grab Phase Rush with Nimbus Cloak, Celerity, and Water Walking, followed by Triumph and Tenacity for secondaries. One of the best Ravenous Hydra users in the jungle is Kha'Zix. As a jungler who lacks that strong AoE clear, being able to pick up an early Tiamat is great. The new passive on Ravenous suits Kha'Zix's playstyle extremely well, as he can push advantages better than most junglers. 2nd item in this build path is an Eclipse, and you have so much 1v1 potential with this core. Ravenous at max stacks will provide 14% Omnivamp, while Eclipse offers 7%, so that's 21% in total. For the ultimate dueling setup, you round out the build with a Spear of Shojin. Just so much raw damage potential coming out of this build due to the AD stack. For runes, you'll run First Strike followed by Magical Footwear, Futures Market, and Cosmic Insight. Eyeball Collection and Treasure Hunter are optimal secondaries. Qmax Udyr was already a really strong pick prior to preseason, but it's become even more devastating due to the item changes. The core build of Prowler's Claw into Ravenous Hydra is absolutely nuts for Udyr. When you're playing Lethality Udyr, you have the ability to point and click one-shot any squishy in sight, so all the AD you can acquire from Ravenous makes this style of Udyr even more insane. Korean Udyr players are loving this setup right now. However, most Western Udyrs are still building him tank. It's actually not even close though how much better Udyr performs with lethality than tank. Udyr players rushing Jaksho are winning 49% of the time compared to Prowler's Claw at 53%. For the rune page, you'll grab Hail of Blades to enhance one-shot power from Q. Follow that up with the Sorcery Tree for secondaries running Celerity and Water Walking. Rod of Ages has been quite underwhelming on most champions. However, there's one mid laner who's an outlier to that statement, and it's Anivia. Anivia has the power to stall out games better than any other mid laner, so the ability for her to reach 2 items and reap the full rewards from Rod and Archangels is great. With so many melee champions being played in the current meta, it's also amazing for Anivia. With Anivia's immaculate zone control, she can shut down highly contested mids like Akali, Sylas, and Zed better than most mid lane mages. The full build to run Anivia is a Rod of Ages rush into Archangel's 2nd and Zanya's 3rd. Electrocute is the keystone with Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collector, and Relentless Hunter. Run Presence of Mind and Coup de Grace for secondaries. Zed is without a doubt the most OP mid lane champion for preseason, and it's all thanks to the Ravenous Hydra rush. Only 15% of Zed players are rushing Ravenous though, so definitely look to try it out if you haven't already. The perma wave clear combined with the snowball power makes Ravenous the perfect item for a snowbally assassin like Zed. Solo Q is all about obtaining early leads and not letting the enemy back into the game, and Ravenous Hydra helps with that tremendously. The complete core build is a Ravenous rush into Eclipse 2nd and Cyrilda's Grudge 3rd. Run Electrocute as the keystone with Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, and Ultimate Hunter. Best secondaries are Transcendence and Scorch. Drain Tank Swain is out in full force for preseason as he's performing best with an off-tank setup. The rush item is Rylai's, and then you go into the brand new Jaksho as your second purchase. Swain wants to be in the front line, soaking damage and being that disruptor, so the ramping armor and magic resist from Jaksho benefit him greatly. The max health damage and healing from Jaksho synergize amazing with Swain since he builds these AP health items like Rylai's and Demonic Embrace. The core build to try is a Rylai's rush into Jaksho's 2nd and Zanya's 3rd. Conqueror is the keystone with Presence of Mind, Tenacity, and Last Stand. Roll with Conditioning and Overgrowth for secondaries. Neela is low-key in a great spot for preseason, and a big factor for her rise in power is due to the fact that she could abuse Ravenous Hydra. Hydra Rush is definitely flying under the radar in ADCs right now, as about 10% of Neela players are building it. Ravenous Rush builds are outperforming everything else by a long shot though. Since Neela is basically a melee ADC who can play aggro and push advantages better than most marksmen, she synergizes great with Ravenous. You go Ravenous into Shield Bow, which offers a crazy amount of sustain, allowing for Neela to play up close like she needs to. The rune page is Conqueror with Triumph, Bloodline, and Last Stand. Optimal secondaries are Sudden Impact and Treasure Hunter. Is Lethality Jhin back? The Koreans most definitely think so, as they've been spamming a really interesting build for preseason. It's super unique as you'll rush Ravenous Hydra, go into Manamune 2nd, and rounds it out with a Duskblade 3rd. New Ravenous is actually super insane for Jhin, as he's an ADC who loves the flat AD, and Ravenous providing 85 at max stacks is huge. This combined with the amount of AD you can acquire from Manamune provides you with an incredible mid-game spike. Your abilities will also hit so much harder, allowing you to snipe more kills with ultimate from afar. Instead of the standard fleet footwork, you'll be running Comet as the keystone to amplify pick power. Best secondaries are Free Boots and Biscuits. The amount of snowball mechanics in League now is getting pretty nuts, and Draven is absolutely loving it. The bonus gold from Treasure Hunter, bonus AD, and Omnivamp from Ravenous Hydra, combined with Draven's passive, allows you to run away with games on the pick. Even if the enemy ADC has the exact same amount of kills as you, you'll be far ahead of the curve compared to them, since most ADCs can't abuse Ravenous and Treasure Hunter. As a champion who lacks significant wave clear, the Cleave passive feels really nice to shove waves out faster with Draven. After rushing Ravenous Hydra, go into Kraken Slayer 2nd and Lord Dominik's or Bloodthirster 3rd. Lethal Tempo is the keystone, followed by Presence of Mind, Bloodline, and Coup de Grace. Taste of Blood and Treasure Hunter are the way to go for secondaries. If you watch this year's Worlds, you have seen the rise of Heimerdinger's support, and in preseason there is a new build giving him even more power. Rylai's Rush is very standard, however Imperial Mandate is being heavily overlooked as Heimer's mythic item. The synergy between Rylai's and Mandate is what makes the build so strong. If you're unaware, the Mandate passive procs when you slow or immobilize a target. Since Rylai's Rylai's will be providing that slow, and because Heimer's turrets can proc it so easily, Mandate is really good value. Heimer already has plenty of damage threat with Rylai's anyways, so by building Mandate, you help buff up your teammates. It's also much cheaper than the more common Liandry's, so you will be hitting a very quick mid-game spike. Rune page for Heimer support is Comet with Mana Flow, Absolute Focus, and Scorch. Grab Taste of Blood and Treasure Hunter for secondaries. Although Heartsteel is most commonly bought on traditional tank champions, one support seeing a ton of success with it is Bard. Bard, being an exceptionally strong roaming champion, can take full advantage of the Heartsteel passive. The Heartsteel passive deals bonus damage, and so does the passive from Deadman's Plate, so you have a sneaky amount of upfront burst with an extremely tanky build. This works so well with how Bard plays, as he's a pick support who wants to find a catch and delete the enemy as soon as they're out of his ultimate stasis. Since the brunt of Bard's damage is tied into his auto attacks, he needs to be up close to be most effective, so he benefits a ton from going this tankier route. The complete core build to run is a Heartsteel Rush into Deadman's Plate 2nd and Force of Nature 3rd. Run Guardian is the keystone with Font of Life, Bone Plating, and Unflinching. Optimal secondary runes are Zombie Ward and Relentless Hunter. Radiant Virtue is extremely sleeper OP on many melee support champions, but the one who takes the cake is Rel. So much of Rel's power comes from her ability to lock down opponents with her ultimate, which makes Virtue an amazing purchase. The haste and healing you provide your team when proccing the Guiding Light passive allows for massive skirmish power. It's not just one of your teammates who gets the buff either, as every single ally within 1200 range benefits from the bonus stats. Since Rel wants to be team fighting around her ultimate cooldown, it's very likely multiple teammates will benefit from Radiant Virtue. After rushing Virtue, go into Knight's Vow 2nd and Wardstone 3rd. The rune page is Glacial Augment with Hex Flash, Dematerializer, and Cosmic Insight. Run Bone Plating and Unflinching for secondaries. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little more about SkillCapped. So, we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week, with over 1,600 guides curated into over 100 courses no one can compare. We've also sent challenger players into ELO Hell 714 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you are serious about improving. So there are 15 builds that are super OP for preseason that you should be looking to play. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.